Hello, hello. I'll put this thing up. Where is my song? Whew. I'm so sorry, y'all. So sorry. I know this is sorry. Like, Mom, like they would say, technical difficulties. My computer decided to reboot right in the middle of this. Let me give y'all some follow jank for like old school. If you notice, you know, welcome my students. How on a day? Happy Saturday to everybody. Wow, I'm beating my too. Listen, y'all, I have such a happy day today. Like, I gotta give y'all some happy dance because there's just so much excitement going on. I'm telling you, man, we're making moves in this place. I'm telling y'all, we are making some moves. Okay, let me give it like 10 more seconds and then we're gonna start. Beating my too. All right, well, I got about 7 people, so guess what? We're gonna get this party started and then we're gonna get going. So happy Saturday, y'all. So guess what? I didn't do my nails. See, we're still saving money, but I took the nail polishes off so it doesn't look crusty today. Hi Yvette, how you doing, my love? Happy Saturday. Today. So we're gonna be talking about investing. But before we even talk about investing, I just wanted to give out some shout outs, man. Like Carlin Mowatlin. Like, let me tell you, you know, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I genuinely get excited for people and get genuinely excited for the little things. But if I tell you guys, I've been getting like so many phone calls. I've been getting like so many messages. I mean, people have been like, you know, trying to get this thing, y'all. And I told y'all, even if I help like one person, just one, I'm happy. And guess what? Like, we're doing this, y'all. Like, we're going to be making money. I'm so excited, y'all. Y'all don't even know. So, hi, Budwell. Hi, my husband. I know you. I hope you're doing well. Listen, so before we even start with this investment stuff, I'm going to give myself the hour today. I'm not going to go over. On top of that, I'm late. But, I don't know if y'all saw my post yesterday about the progress that I made personally in my life, me, Mrs. Monday. And on top of that, the progress that other people are actually making. So let me tell y'all yesterday's story real quick if y'all didn't see my post. So I went into Publix yesterday morning, right? Me, myself, and I went with cash. I went with my debit card. I went with my credit card. And the intention was to go buy one item. First of all, you know how they set you up in the store. So I walked in, it's first thing in the morning. And the first thing you smell is like fresh bread coming from the bakery. I said, oh, Jesus, I need some bread. So guess what I did? I went straight to the bakery, looking at the bread. I picked up the bread, and then I said, no, Anna, you didn't come here for bread. Put the bread down. Then you know the devil on your shoulder. Take the bread, you need it. It's fresh, it's hot. It just came out of the oven. Take it. The angel said, Anna, don't do it. Leave the store. So I walked away. I put the bread down, y'all. I put the bread down. And I walked around the store. Now, mind you, if you know me, I'm like the sales, like anything that has sale on it, it catches my eye. And as I'm walking in the store, it's like everything trying to pull me in the aisle. Like, Anna, come get this. It's buy one, get one free. It's a clearance. And I kept telling myself, you're not going to do this today. You're going to go in and get your one item, and you're going to walk out of this store with this one item. And guess what, y'all? Oh, my God. I did it. if you know, I don't even understand. Like my own excitement for myself yesterday was epic. I literally went in and spent $3.45, y'all, and I walked out of the store with one item. Look at God. Look at God. If somebody tell you that miracles happen, I'm that miracle. I used to be the one that would purposely not even go with a cart or a basket in the store to go get one item. And by the time I'm walking out the store, I'm carrying stuff under my armpits. I'm holding on to things because one item has now turned into 10. And I will not let go of those items that the store just told me, Anna, you need. So I'm telling y'all just this as progress. And I don't know if Jana, but you're watching and just to make me happier today, one of my awesome watchers, Janaba, she went into Costco yesterday with her list, and guess what she did, y'all? She bought only the items on her list, and she walked out of the store, and she said for the first time in a long time, she spent less than $100 in Costco. If y'all in America know what Costco is the devil. You cannot walk into Costco and buy one item. So kudos to you, Jennifer. We're doing this, girl. We are doing it. I'm so proud of us. This just makes me so happy and excited, and just makes me know that, I'm doing something good and I'm helping people. And just for the fact that people actually take time out of their day to message or call me just to ask questions or ways that I can help them, that just, if I die today, I'll die happy. So just so y'all know, this excitement today is just because we are all getting better, man. Like it can only get better from here. So anyway, now that I've told you guys about my little excitement of saving money and being disciplined, we can now go to our investments today. So, hi, Effie. Once in a while, you need to listen to. Girl, you are not on my left shoulder, honey. You will be the one who will say buy it. We're not good for each other, Effie. So anyway, so now today, since we're going to talk about investing, we've covered most of the important things that we need to cover before we get to investing. Now, if you're one of the people that still need to work on like your finances or need to work on paying out some debt, listen up and take some notes, because this would you would get to this eventually. But for some of us that are already, have tried to at least pay up the credit card bills and stuff like that, and are, is following the steps and sticking on budget and doing all the right things, then we will be heading towards now investing. Now, again, what I always said was, feeling you to babirawe. And when I say that, I mean, like they make their money work for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they pay all their bills, they pay all their debts, but then they just don't stick that money into a savings account and let that money just stay there. The point of all of this is we need to be able to make our money make more money for us. That's the goal. So basically for investments today, the first thing we're going to talk about is what to do before you even start investing. So like I said, we've already covered the budgeting. We've already covered the paying the bills, and we've covered the emergency fund, but I'll just touch on it a little bit more. Whatever you do before you start investing, because most of us, we need to invest long term. For us that have missed out on the first 10, 15 years of this investment life, we can still start now. However, we need to be able to put money aside for emergencies. So if it's 1 month worth of all your monthly expenses minimum, or you need at least 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses. That's money that you literally do not need. So after you pay up all your bills and you have all your emergency funds, then we can get into the investment part. But I don't want people to start just throwing money into investment, knowing that if something were to happen tomorrow, you're going to end up taking out all that money, and then, all the hard work that you did, you would end up losing. So please make sure whatever you do before you get into the investing, put your emergency funds aside, minimum at least a month of your total monthly expense. Then second thing is to, of course, to pay out your debt. Now, the funny thing is there are people who would say pay it all off before you start investing, and then there are people that are saying, just pay off the ones that have the high interest. Because if you're investing money and you are not paying off your credit card bills, it's almost pointless, because your credit card bills accrued so much interest over time that if you don't pay it off, that's you literally still wasting money. So best thing to do, even if you can't pay out all your debt, just at least make sure you pay out all the ones that have high interest. So the credit card loans, the personal loan. So make sure you take care of all of the student loans, because I know some student loans too tend to have like a really, really high interest rate. So whatever you do, make sure before you start any kind of investment, you take care of those those credit cards and high interest loans first. Basically the goal, like I said, is to give the money, it's not to give the money away, it's to keep as much as we can as possible. So now, and then the next thing you have to do is open a retirement account. That's outside of the investing. What a lot of people, I think the mistake that a lot of us made, me included, for years, I just assumed that as long as you have a 401k, you don't need to do anything anymore. That's just money that you're investing for yourself, and boom, that's it, and don't worry about it. But that's actually not the right thing to do. Yes, you need a 401k. Now, whether it's through your job or if you're doing it like on a personal level and having a Roth IRA, but whatever you do, the first thing you need to do is invest towards your retirement. So if you guys have jobs and your job is matching, I don't care what you do, try to match at least the minimum, the maximum that your job is maxing, giving out for free, because that's free money into your pocket for your retirement. So whatever you do, at least max out your 401k and match it with your job, because that's money that, there's no way you want to give that away. So do that first, and then we will talk about, like I said, the other part of investing. Another thing that I realized is with us that have 401k at our jobs, most jobs offer two options. There's a 401k, which is pre-tax, and then there's a Roth IRA, which is post-tax. A lot of people go for the 401k, which is good because you're not paying any taxes on it. Now, the bad part about this situation is when you retire, all that tax, they're going to take out as one lump sum. So a lot of people have made that mistake. And I didn't even learn about that until probably about a couple of years ago, when a friend of mine's family member was retiring, and they went to, collect their lump sum, and the government ended up taking 25% of all that money. So imagine when you're paying it, if it's a small amount, the taxes don't really matter because you don't see it. It just, but if you, let's say, had about $500,000, or $1 million in retirement, and the government comes and take 25%, guess how much you're losing? 250 grand, one lump sum. So what a lot of people need to do is, if you have an option to get the Roth IRA, do it. Now, the government only allows you to be able to invest up to $6,000 of the Roth IRA in your retirement account. But for me personally, I'm doing both. So I'm matching what my job is offering, and then the rest of it I'm doing on the Roth IRA. Because for me, I think it's better for me to pay the taxes now, and then that way when I retire, I get all my money and they're not going to take a penny from me, because honestly, I'm not missing the $20 here, the $30 there, but I would surely miss 250 grand. You know what I'm saying? Or 25,000 or 45,000 or 55, whatever the amount is. So you guys look into that, consider it. If your job offers both the 401k and the Roth IRA, try to see if you can split it, because it'll help you a lot in the end when it comes to those lump sum. So, but anyway, just do your research and see what works out the best for you. So once you have basically maxed out your 401k, all your bills are paid, all your expenses are paid, and you still have a little bit of money left to put aside, that's where the difference comes in. So a lot of people, whatever extra money they now accumulate after paying all their bills and their 401ks and all that stuff, they just throw the money in a savings account and just leave it there. That's, like I said, that 0.01% still kills me today. So if you get to that point where now everything you've taken care of that needs to be taken care of, you've done it, that money, do not hold it in a savings account. Yes, have a little bit aside for things that, like short-term savings, for things that may happen down the road or throughout the year, or like I talked about sinking funds. So things that you've already planned for, that you have money saved up for. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to all the expenses after those things. So have a normal savings for those expenses, but then the rest of the money, do not just put it in a savings account for it to gather dust, because 0.01% is basically gathering dust, if you ask me. But anyway, so if once you do that, then we go into the stock market. So I'm going to explain. Let me just give you guys a little bit of a disclosure here so you guys will know. Me personally, I only started investing in the stock market at the end of December. So I'm fairly new to the stock game. I don't know much about it. So I'm only going to tell you guys as much as I know, as much as I've researched, and then you can take it from there. And from what little bit I can share with you guys, you can take it from there now and do your own little research on it and see what works the best for you. Now, I'm also going to tell you guys about the mistakes I've made. I've made a few already, y'all. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Now, before I even go into like how the whole stock thing works, this might be the best time to buy, because right now the market is going through a correction. Now, what a correction basically means is all the stocks are down. All the stocks are down. Like right now, I don't look at my portfolio because it makes me cry. It's brutal, but it's the best time to buy, because if you buy the stock when it's low, once the correction is over, all those stocks are going to go back up, and that's where you're going to make your money. Is somebody who's, hold on, yeah, 1 second here. Why is my phone beeping? I apologize. Sorry for the inconvenience, yeah. So but yeah, so if you what was I saying? So yeah, so the market is down. So now is a good time to buy into stocks, because you will get it at a discounted price, and then all those prices are going to go up. I'm going to give you one example, like Tesla. Tesla was high up there, like at $1,500 per share. But guess what's happened this week? Tesla is down to like 500, y'all. Now, the people who's bought a lot of stocks, they've lost a lot of money. And that's where the stock market can get a little painful. So that's why I'm going to talk to you to do different options and see what you're comfortable with. Because if you like are an individual stock person, a trader, oh, it's going to be rough a little bit. But anyway, I'll tell you guys about my mistake in a little bit, what I've done so far. So basically, if you don't know what stock is basically a share in a company. So where's Effie? She's right there. For the people that like Starbucks, Effie, I'm sorry, I'm putting you on blast again, baby. So if you love Starbucks, you can decide to get a stock in Starbucks. And then that means you own a tiny bit of Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? So wouldn't that make you feel better if you own a Starbucks? Now you can physically say, I own Starbucks. I have a share in Starbucks. So that's basically what the stock means. If you have a little share in a specific company. So, and the stock market, of course, everybody know that's where all the stocks are basically traded. So you buy stocks there, you sell stocks there. So now what happens is when the stock is down, which is what's happening right now, the reason why it happens is, let's say something bad happens, there's something bad in the news, either about a specific stock or just the economy in general, people panic and then they sell all their stocks. So as people are getting rid of the stocks, the stock is getting smaller. But then if there's good news, let's say right now, after the whole stock market correction happens, and then now they're coming up with all the vaccine, economy is getting better, then people will start to buy more. So the more stocks people buy in a company, the more expensive the stock will become. And that's how you make your money. So let's say I bought a Facebook stock. So the more money Facebook makes, the more money I make. So that's basically how it is. So when you're investing, you just make sure, especially if you are a new investor, just make sure that you invest in companies that you already know about, or companies that you love. So let's say if you are one of the people that like your designers, you invest in, I don't even know if Coach has a stock, but you invest in a Coach stock. If you like to go to Walmart like me, you invest in a Walmart stock. If you like Nike shoes and all your kids wear Nike shoes, you invest in the Nike stock. So you just make sure that you invest in companies that you know are going somewhere at the end of the day. You know, sorry if you know I love you, babe. So yeah, so Roth IRA contribution is only 6,000 is the maximum that you are allowed to contribute per year. Nothing more than 6,000. If you're older, I think if you're like 50 or something, then they will allow you to invest, I think like up to 7 grand. But 6 grand is the maximum that you can do per year for a Roth IRA. So just keep that in mind when you are investing, my love. So, and then one thing I want people to be clear of is the market goes up and down. So just because you have one stock does not mean that stock will consistently climb. Corrections happen, bad news happen. Like every day, if Mark Zuckerberg has to go to Congress to go answer some question for some shenanigans, guess what? Most of the time, if the news is negative, the stock will go down. But the good thing is the stock will always go back up again if it's a legit company. Now, there are lots of new startup companies that come out from the grass and make a whole lot of money. And I'm going to tell y'all, that's one of the stuff that I fell into because I got too excited. I'll tell y'all in a minute. But those newer companies, majority of the time, they don't end up succeeding. So you see it as a cheap stock. You buy it thinking that they're going to, progress, and then something happened and then you end up losing a whole lot of money. But, like I said, at the end of the day, if you are new, the suggestion is to invest in stocks that you already know. I'll give you guys other options when it comes to mutual funds and index fund, and I'll explain what those mean in a second. Again, please, guys, do your research and learn, because, like I said, this is just I'm new at this. So I'm not as well versed as the people who's been in there for a while, but at least I can tell you guys what the basics are, and then you can make your decision from there and go with it. So basically, they're like the stocks. What I was explaining about some of these stocks, they're like called high risk stocks. So let's say they're brand new. An example will be like right now, Tesla has a competition for electronic cars, and it's this company called NIO. So NIO basically is a company in China that's basically also making electronic cars. So, but they're just starting up. So there is a high probability that with the way the world is going, because they're saying by 2030, most of the cars in the United States are going to be electric cars anyway. So eventually they'll probably go up. But if you are somebody who's very conservative with their money, that's not the route that you will go. If you're the younger ones, 18, 19, and you can ride it up, by all means, go with it. But if you're conservative, do not put your money in high risk stocks. Like you go for the lower risk stocks, which would be like the Facebooks, the MasterCards, the Home Depots, and things of that nature. Companies that are basically more like well versed. So, if he said buy more, yes, girl, I'm telling you, Facebook, Facebook stocks is a good one to have, and it'll save you a whole lot of money also. Now, so basically, once you buy, you get stocks. The other option is investment funds. So stocks is basically like buying like one share, like in a company, in one single company. So let me give you an example. So buying a stock is like buying a flower, and then buying an entire investment fund is basically, let's say, buying the whole bouquet. So most people now will go to investment funds instead of just buying just one stock. Now, the reason being is you can buy, like I said, buy and trade stocks as much as you can. But when it comes to single stocks, let's say, God forbid, if you had just one stock and it's Facebook and you literally invested all your life savings in Facebook, the day something happens to Facebook and Facebook goes down, all that money that you saved is gone. So the best thing to do is have an investment fund, because at the end of the day, it's multiple companies into one. So you got, let's say Facebook, you got Tesla, you got, Visa, all these big companies are basically attached into one fund. So your risk is a lot less than you having just one stock. So basically, there's also what they call mutual funds. Now, mutual funds was the first kind of funds that started in the stock market. Mutual funds is almost like it's an investment fund also, but it's a little bit, I'll give you guys the next one, which is called index stock. But mutual fund is basically a bunch of stocks that the experts come. So let's say if you like a financial guru, or you like one of those smart people. So what they do is they find all the good stocks. They do all the research, find all the good stocks, and put them into one fund called a mutual fund. And then you can buy that mutual fund and just invest into a mutual fund every month, and then just let that money grow. Now, the difference with that is, they charge you, because they're the ones doing all the work for you. You get to pay a portion. Let's say, I think it's like 0.25% like annually to do it. So a lot of people tend not to go with the mutual fund. But the next option is the index fund, which the index fund is what I want everybody to kind of look into, because that's where the money is. You know what I'm saying? That's what the money is. So look into to index funds, because index fund is a little bit similar to the mutual fund. However, it's basically, let's see, what is it again? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just going through my notes so I make sure I don't miss it. So basically, it's a portfolio that you can put all of the. So this one is based off of the market. So this one is not people going in and looking at it. So this one is basically, they look at the entire stock market and see what companies are doing the best in the entire stock market, and then put it together in an index fund. So the index fund, you don't get to pay as much money as you would pay for the other one. So, and on top of that, you get compounding interest. So let's say, for an example, the younger kids, they only have like $100 to invest per month. If they were to invest in a index fund, $100 a month for like 30 years at an 8% interest rate, by the time their 30 years hit, it will be about $147,000. So because you're only investing $37 in that 30 years, however, I mean, you put $1,000 down, but you guys get what I'm saying. But if for 30 years, the compounded interest would just grow. So imagine you only investing 37,000, but then in 30 years, you end up with about 146,000. So if you had more money to put in, that's where the buck is. So for us adults that have, missed out on the investing portion, this is the best time to, like, if you have more money to invest, the more money you can invest, the better. Now, when it comes to index fund, it's not one of those get rich quick scheme. So if you decide to go into an index fund, please, 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 please make sure you are ready to at least keep that money in there for a minimum of 5 years to allow the money to grow. Because the longer the money stays, the more interest is going to gain, and the more money you're going to make. So for people like us that have maybe 15, 20 more years before we retire, just put as much money as you can put in there. And then that way you don't have to, you don't have to worry about the money. That's the good thing about the index fund. Just put the money in here. Hi, Rose. Welcome, my love. Yeah. So just put the money in there and then forget about the money. And then what you can do is, I'll tell you guys about the two main companies that work with index funds. But what you can do is you can do an automatic payment. So as soon as you get paid, you get an automatic deduction. It goes straight into there. You don't worry about the money. The companies will invest that money for you, and you're good to go, and you don't have to worry about it. Now, if you're the person who wants to do the daily trade stocks and do trading and all that stuff, that takes a whole lot of work. If you have a lot of free time on your hand and you got nothing to do and you want to make some quick money, oh, that's the route to go. You can make some good money fast, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. But again, the more the risk, the higher the reward, but also, the higher chances you have of losing money. So please, if you want to trade stocks and you want to make money fast, oh yeah, it's good for you. You want to collect. But just know that most of us, the best thing to do is to invest long term. That way, even when you retire and take some of that money out, you can transfer some of that money to your children. So you will never lose in the stock market. The only time you lose is if you sell, from what they always would say. But you're not selling anytime soon. And then there's also dividend stocks. So you can buy into mutual funds or ETFs that has dividends. So which means that every time the company has some kind of extra money, you're a part of it. They give you a dividend share. So let's say if you had 2 shares of let's say, what company does a good dividend? Coke. So Coke will pay you every time they make a profit, if it's 2 or 3%. So if you had 10 shares, then you will get 3% times 10 shares. If you got 20, that's how it works. So a lot of people like to do dividend, because what happens is if you are able to invest a lot, at some point, the dividend will pay you back so much money where you don't even have to worry about your monthly expense, because you would just be getting free money from the stock market. And then let's see. So, what happened to my thing? Did I? Oh, I missed my page. Y'all. How y'all doing so far? Y'all good? Y'all good? So anyway. So now that I've spoken about the index fund, like I said, there's another one called the ETFs. Now, the only difference between ETFs and index fund, ETFs basically allows you to trade on a daily basis. So again, ETF is basically a whole bunch of stocks added into one, just like the index fund. They're literally the same. You could have the same companies into an ETF that you would have into an index fund. However, the difference between the index fund and the ETF is index fund does not allow you to trade stocks daily. You just put money in there, whenever you can. But ETFs will allow you to take money out and sell and trade and all that stuff. So if you're the type of person who don't have time to be looking through the stock market like every day to see if your stock has gone up or gone down, then stick with the index fund, because you put the money in there and then you forget about it. You just, do your automatic deposit every month, and you don't worry about the money, and it's just going to keep compounding the interest for you. But if you're that type that you want to see every day, how the market is trading and how the market is doing, then you can go with the ETFs. Now, there are two main companies that work with the index fund and the ETFs, that two that I would recommend personally. And then of course, I'll tell you guys about the apps. But the two main investment companies will be Vanguard or Fidelity. Now, I'll give you the difference between the two. I personally have Vanguard now, and then I have T. Rowe Price for my 401k through my job. But that's different. That's through the job. That's the company that they're going with. But I have Vanguard right now. Now the difference between Vanguard is when you need to buy a index fund, it's a minimum of $3,000. No, don't run. Come back. Just because I said 3,000, don't run. There are options. There are ways out of it, because I know a lot of people don't have $3,000. So remember how I said that the ETFs and the index funds are the same? So you can buy an ETF for now if you're not the type that has $3,000 sitting there and waiting for you. So you buy ETFs at a way lower cost, and there's not a minimum. You buy the ETF at the amount that it's currently trading in the stock market. That's how you have to look at it. That's the only difference that makes it a little bit harder. But that's Vanguard. If you have Fidelity has no minimum. So if I were you guys, I would suggest you look into Fidelity, because Fidelity does not charge you any extra, and they also do not charge you. They don't have a cap or a minimum cap that you need to pay to invest in the index funds that you want to invest in, or the mutual funds or the ETFs. You can go in and put $1. If $1 is all you can afford every pay period, Fidelity will let you put in your $1. So for those who are just starting out and you're trying to test the waters and see how it goes, go into Fidelity. Or if you have enough money, you can go into Vanguard and just start with that $3,000. Now, when it comes to the apps, I know Robinhood also trades, but that's, again, you could do ETFs and index funds into Robinhood, but they do not offer all of the stocks. So there might be some that they won't, they don't offer at all. However, if I have Fidelity 15 years now and I love it. Yeah. So actually I wasn't even aware of Fidelity until I started doing research for this live today, was when I found out how much better Fidelity is. I was always with Vanguard, but I was like, oh, because I was trying to set up the investment funds for my girls. And then when I tried to do it, it brought up, because I knew the stocks that I wanted to invest for them. But then as soon as I went and they said $3,000 a piece, I said, oh, loud. Who that one? Kopono did it for that one day. So I said, oh, I need to find other options. So I'm definitely, me personally, I'm going to look into Fidelity too, because I think it's going to be a lot easier for us that don't have $3,000 to invest. And then, like I said, Robinhood, if you want to go through the app, which is fine, Robinhood doesn't charge anything to trade. And Robinhood also doesn't have a limit or a cap on how much money you can put in. So if you have $2, you can put in $2. They offer fractional shares. So, I mean, why won't you do fractional shares? They offer fractional shares. And if the stock is, let's say, what is Facebook now? Facebook's like 2 something. So if you don't have 200 to put in a Facebook stock, if you only have $50 that month, you can still throw it into Facebook and you would have like your own fractional share of that. But the more money you keep adding, the better for you. And then, like I said, but again, if you're doing personal stocks, you always have to check the market, because you want to buy your stock when the stock is low and then it grows up. The market goes up, it goes down, but it goes up more than it comes down, So, so basically, like I said, I personally would suggest the index fund, and I'll give you guys a couple of the index funds that are available. And then if you guys can look into it, do your own research, see what works the best for you. And then, discuss with your family, see what happens. My sister, I'm telling you, today I'm serious about this money business. So the accent, not they come out like that, but it is there. It's coming small. Oh my God. So yeah. Oh Lord have mercy. But anyway, so let me tell you guys some of the so if you're the ones who wants to, like, like I said, invest in individual stocks, there's a long list of all these companies that you can. Where did I put my list at? Oh, I'm so discombobulated today, y'all. So, but there's a whole list of companies that you can invest your stocks in one at a time. So if you don't have a lot of money, you can just invest in one. But like I said, the risk of investing in just one, if something bad were to happen, you're going to lose all that money. That's why you need diversity in your portfolio. So you need, let's say you need a banking stock, you need what you want to call it. You want like retail, you want, security, like, so you want different kind of stocks in one portfolio. You just don't want to be a one trick pony, because if something happens, you're going to end up losing all that money. So you don't want to do that. So let's say I'm going to give you guys some lists. So you got Visa, you got MasterCard, you got Home Depot, and these are all companies that have been well established for years. And the odds of those companies filing for bankruptcy is just literally almost impossible. So especially banks in America, the government would never let the banks fail. Like, just how many times have they gotten a bailout? They are still not willing to give us a $1,700 check, but they are willing to bail out banks for billions and billions of dollars. That's the nonsense that I'm talking about. So when it comes to things like that, Bank of America always have that. I did say Home Depot, the Starbucks people, my Effie, Nike has good stocks. Coca-Cola has a good, what you want to call it again? Coke has, oh geez, what's the word again? See me, see trouble. My brain has this, dividend. Coke has a good dividend. So find dividend stocks. What are the company? So let's see. Walmart, Amazon. Amazon is too expensive. A lot of people can avoid Amazon, but you have an option to buy fractional shares. So like I say, if you can put in $100 in some of these companies, you still can. And maybe eventually you will get to that $3,000 mark with Amazon. And again, all of this is for individual stocks. But again, I'm suggesting to you guys to go ahead and get the index fund, because that's where you have the potential to get way more money, and the potential to have a higher interest rate, because you want a minimum of 8% to 10% of interest rate that will grow, and then it'll be compounded. So if you're that type that just want to invest for maybe, let's say, 10 years or 5 years, that's still money. Because if you have put that, let's say you invested $3,000, if you have put that $3,000 in a savings account, by the time the 10-year hit, you've only made an extra what, $3 off of your off of that savings with the 0.01 interest. But if you were to put it in the stock market and it compounds every year for, at least 8%, I mean, worst case scenario, you would have a whole lot more money than you've put in. So excuse me, JP Morgan Chase too is one of the best banks to get into if you're doing individual stocks, because they've always been out there. And right now, because of the market that's crashing, this is the best time to buy into the financial companies, because their stocks is about to rise very high. Also in the airline, because with the coronavirus going away, traveling is going to become very, it's going to become essential again. And a lot of people are going to start traveling. So the American Airlines, the United, the Southwest, the Carnival, the Cruise, the Norwegian, so those should be the kind of stocks that you want to invest into. Look into like new companies. Like right now, we're already in the world of technology. So look into companies that have like clean energy, because we know natural gas and clean energy, that's where the world is heading. So now most of those stocks, like I said, is high risk. But if you have kids who are like on the younger side, that's where they can potentially make a lot of money, because those companies are now up and coming. So by the time, so let's say if a stock started at $4 today, by 5 years from now, with the way that the rate that the world is going, 5 years from now, that $3 stock could be like $150 to $200 in stock. And let's say you bought it when it was 300, when it was $3, you bought about 1,000 shares of that. So imagine if that stock now raises up to be about $150 to $200. That's like 300 times. So basically, that's almost like 5,000, dollars that you will potentially gain. I don't know if my math is right. I'm sorry. I didn't do well in math in school. So if my calculations seem wrong, don't judge. Oh, Miss Kokai, if you're watching, I'm sorry. She was my 10th grade math teacher. Listen, my report card always used to say, continue to be serious in class. Less talking should be your policy from now on. Mathematics for where? Anyway, for you people that can multiply for me, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So basically, look, all of you guys look into index fund, look into Fidelity, because Fidelity is the company that has zero fees, and it's the company that has no minimum cap on the amount that you can invest. Look into Vanguard also. Vanguard, I mean, is very, very stable. Vanguard is the company that actually started the index fund. Like, that's where index fund basically started. If you are judging me, madam, let me tell you, they said they say Hamza Bobasi Jamu ya lalaboka. Mathematics not be my own. God give me a lot of gift. Well, when it comes to mathematics, hey, my people, hey, listen, I'm even embarrassed to share some of my mathematics story. So, but I will not say it, even though I'm here talking about money business. We will multiply, but oh my God, I'm so sorry, yeah. So basically, that's the basics that I know when it comes to investment. Like I said, Fidelity has a custodial account too, and the Vanguard also has custodial accounts for the kids. So for the ones that want to invest for their children now, this is the best time to do it. For the one, please, I'm begging you guys, like I told you guys last week, if you have younger kids, if you have kids that are just about to graduate from high school, or you have kids that are just graduating from college, please, this is the time to get them to invest. I'm telling you, if these kids want to retire, it's called FIRE. If you want to retire before you reach that 65 and enjoy your life, by the time you turn 18, start putting money aside for them. Have them start working and put money aside. Because let me tell you, if they can put, like I said, even if it's $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 per month, between 10 and 20 years. So imagine by the time they're 38, 40 years old, our age, they're already set for life. They don't have to sit here and wait for 65 or retirement money. They can still have money in 401ks, but they need like that investment money. It's money that they can take out to buy a house, their new house. There's money that they can start a new family with. It's money that they can buy cars with. It's money that they can invest into other businesses with. Like, all these things are there. So no matter what you do, if you have younger kids, please, one, if they're not old enough to start investing, start doing it on their behalf. Open, like I said, a Vanguard or a Fidelity account. It's called the UGMA, UGMA. And UGMA is for the younger kids, and then UTMA is for kids that maybe just have a part-time job and stuff like that. But please, make sure that they are investing as soon as possible. Like they will always say, you should have started, the time for investing was yesterday. So, and for us that have been here long enough and all we cared about was 401k. Now, let me just tell y'all, 401k, like I said the other time, you cannot collect that money. If you collect money, they will take 10% tax. Then they will penalize you on top of that. I think it's an extra 15% or 20%. They will take close to 40% of all that money that you have taken out if you just go take the money. Trust me, I made that mistake. You know, when you're in America, you don't know. My first job, worked for 6 years. By the time I left the job, they say 401k money. I see. So I can just collect. I know nothing about transferring money from one investment firm to the next. I just collected. Now imagine, from almost, I think at that point I had it, and up to this day, if I cannot tell you what I spend that money on. I mean, I'm just telling you guys my business, so you will know. So that way you know I'm not judging you. I think I had about $16,000. Huh? By the time they collected all their taxes, their fees, their penalties, and everything that you can count, I was left with about 10,000. So that's what happens when you have 401k. So 401k is supposed to stay there until you are 59 and a half, or is it 62? I don't even know, because I don't intend to stay that long, but the money will stay there. That's why the stock market is where most of my money will be. Ross, I did it 2 times. I just collected money. Nobody told me you can transfer that money and keep saving it. If I did that by now, Madam, I have gone back home to Gambia and built my small mansion by the beach, drinking coconut water every day. But what happened? I said, when you don't know, you don't know. That's why for me, the mistakes that I made, that's why I'm trying to help everybody that I can. And yes, if you transfer jobs, please, under no circumstances do you cash out that 401k if you made $10, $15, $20, because that money adds up fast. I remember investing between 3 years, and I was only investing minimum. I think I was doing like 2% or 3%. In 3 years, my 401k had jumped from 0 to about 15,000. So the money is there. Oh, the money is there. So under no circumstances do you take that money out. I say I chop them. And you know me and my shoes business. I went to restaurants. I ate. I replenished my closet. I bought shoes. And me and distributing money. Anybody that called me said you needed something. Oh, I don't send. I was like the Bill Gates for like 2 weeks until the money finished. And then what happened? You go back to zero again, eating from hand to mouth. 15,000 ended up with 10, and I cannot tell you where that, up to today, I can never tell you where that money went. So please, I'm telling you guys all my mistakes so you guys won't make the same mistakes. Oh, one more thing. When it comes to the stock, if you choose to do individual stock, and that's one of the mistakes that I have made. I've only been doing it for 1 month, but this is the mistake that I have made. Do not chase stocks. It's called FOMO, fear of losing out. Listen, the moment I go on YouTube, somebody say, "I now go buy these stocks," I don't run. I think I have about, now I have to go sell them, but I'm waiting for the market to go back up, because the amount of money I will lose if I sell them now, it will not be, my heart. Let me just hold it. I cannot sell it right now. So when the market goes back up in about 2 to 3 weeks, I'm getting rid of most of those stocks, because what happened is I caught myself watching all these YouTube videos, and this person will say, go buy this stock, it's gonna go up, I wanna go buy. Go buy that stock, I wanna go buy. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going strictly into ETFs, and I'm going into index funds. And then I may have 1 or 2 or 3 personal stocks that I like, that I will keep, but I'm going to get rid of all that extra 20 stocks that I buy. Hey, Ross, you don't even know. I was Bill Gates. Anybody that call, I say, anybody come. I say, come make a dash you. Now I'm rich. Imagine those days when you have $10,000 in your bank account, money that you have not seen before. Hey, life was good though. Life was good. I was at the mall every day, especially when you're in your 20s and don't think about anything important in life. I was there shopping. In fact, I went to New York. I shopped until they blocked my card. I went with 1 suitcase, came back with 3. I'm just giving you an example of the nonsensical nonsense. Because now, when I think about the nonsense things that I did, right now, this second, I would have retired. I would be in Gambia in my house. And here I am now, just starting from scratch. At 38. But it's okay. They say better late than never. Better late than never. So we are starting now. Even if you can make $50,000, $100,000, something for us that plan to probably retire in Gambia or any other country outside of the States. You don't even need the millions. Because conversion rate is great. Make 100,000, 200, 300,000. You are good to go. You don't have to kill yourself for the millions, but just be disciplined. Put the money in there, add it every month, leave it there and let it grow. Give it at least minimum of 5 years. if you need to. 10 years, better. If you can hold it there for 20 more, ha, no lie, man. Life will be good. You will travel the world and don't have to worry about it. So please, those are the two main avenues to make your money, and stick with it, because that's the only way we would be able to get out of the rut that we're in. We have to invest our money. Do not keep your money in a savings account. It would not work. Make your money work for you. Make your money grow. 8 to 10% difference every year is a whole lot. Compounded on top of that is a whole lot better than 0.01%. Your kids will be able to build their homes. They will be able to start their families. They will be able to do all these things that most of us were not able to do if we take the time to just start working on it today. So please go do your research, look into it. Like I said, I'm here. You already saw how excited I was at the beginning of the video as to how, I'm so happy that people are calling and asking questions. I'm here to help. I'm not charging nobody no money. I don't want nothing. Y'all just watch, just learn, and the only benefit or pleasure this is gonna give me is like what I experienced today, just knowing that people are actually taking the time to learn, to listen, and to do these things, and know that the options are out there. So y'all have any questions? Y'all let me know. Next week, I was thinking about two things. So you guys let me know what you guys want us to do. I was gonna either do tips on savings, or I was going to do like side hustles. Because the thing is, if you work a full-time job and you don't got no extra money, and we need this investment money to grow, we need other source of income. I think I touched on that on my first video. So you don't need one income. So there's so many things out there that can bring you extra money. So let's say if you don't have enough money to invest right now because your budget is tight, let's work on a side hustle. That extra $100 a month, that extra 200, 300, whatever amount of money you can bring in and throw into that stock market, that money will grow. So yeah, let me know. Y'all let me know if we should do tips on saving money. Like I said, just the fact that we were able to, a few people have been able to save money this week by walking into a store and just getting the items they needed. My life is good, man. But you guys, we can do side hustles. And at least for the side hustles, I will have a lot more for my Gambian people, because right now I feel like today's video, Mom, unfortunately, most of my Gambian people can't, I mean, the ones in Gambia, not the ones here, they won't be able to do as much with this as they can, because I don't know, of course, there ain't no stock market in Gambia. Oh, geez, the bank system itself is a problem. So, but, but next week, okay, we can do the side hustle next week. So that way I have a whole lot of suggestions that I have for my Gambian people. Like Sisi will tell you, every day I call her, Sisi, I have this business idea. When will it stop? Pick one and stick with one. I can't for my people back home, because the opportunities are so many. So Auntie B, you said savings. I thought you the one in Gambia. You would have said like side hustle, but it's okay. See, you spent under $20 at the grocery store. I mean, Rose, like seriously, man. Like honestly, yesterday, I'm telling you no lie, like it was one of the most gratifying feeling that I had in a long time. I came home running to my husband, like he thought something was wrong, like I won the lottery. And he was like, no, baby. I said, no, baby, you don't understand. Like this does not happen. This is not me. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I was able to refrain myself, and it's not, I didn't have the money. I had everything. I had more money than I normally would in my bag. And I walked out with one item. So I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. So if we can do this, please, another thing is you guys, please continue to check your bank statements like every day or every other day. Check your spendings. Because like I said the last time, sometimes there are a lot of stuff that show up on your bank accounts that you are not aware of. So try to at least check your account once in a while, every other day, or at least once a week. you go back and look at it and make sure that your money is going to the place that it's going. Write it down. Every spending that you spend, if you're using cash, let's say for the week on grocery, make sure every time you go to the store, keep a track of those receipts and track your spendings. So, but I mean, you guys let me know. We'll do either the savings or, you know, whatever works. Let me see what my body feels like. And then, but either way would work for me, because I'm just gonna do all the research on it, and you guys just let me know. So today I made it. I'm like 59 minutes. Thank you guys so much. I hope this has been as helpful as it can be. I'm here for you guys. If you guys have any Sissy doesn't have the book, Effie. I have the book, because every day I wake up and I see something or something clicks, I call her and say, Sissy, what about this business idea? I literally have a whole book. Like, trust me, there's money to be made, man. There's like so much money to be made if people would just take the time. So don't rely on your full-time job. Have your full-time job as your cushion, but you got to have a side hustle, man. A side hustle or a real business. Nobody want to be working for the man 9 to 5 until you're 65. So at some point, we're going to have to start looking into other options. And honestly speaking, a business or a side hustle or the investment is what's going to get us out of that as fast as possible. We're not waiting until 65, at least some of us. Anyway, Ronnie Boy says, send me 100. Let me test and see. Whatever. Don't worry, I will send you 100. I can dash you now. You're my brother. I will dash you anytime. Anyway, guys, thanks again so much. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. I'll catch you guys next week, hopefully, and we'll do this again. And if you guys have any topics that you guys want me to share or talk about, like I said, I'll be happy to do research on it and talk about it. You guys let me know, and please share this video with all your friends and your families. Like anybody that you think this might help, please share with them. Like I said, I don't have much to give, but information, you know, it's what's keeping a whole lot of us in a rut in this hole, especially us gamers. A lot of gamers living in America want to go home, y'all. And some of the financial reasons is one of the reasons why a lot of people are stuck here. So if there is a way out, 5-10 years from now, the years go by fast, we can do it. So please share as much as you guys can, and we will do it again. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to holler at me. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you guys have a fabulous, wonderful Saturday, y'all. Love you guys. Y'all ready to say goodbye? Oh, where can you buy Musu? Musu, send me a message. Robinhood, I'll show you guys. I'll probably put it on my post. But Robinhood is a really good one, because they sell fractional shares, and then Fidelity or Vanguard, or the other two. But you send me a message and I'll be happy to help you. I promise you. All right, y'all. Good night. Love you guys. Bye.